Hey guys, welcome to the Movie Reviewer, where we review movies from good to bad to, dear Lord, I'll never get those 2 hours back. Hey guys, let's start off with reviewing something on Netflix. So these days, we're all talking about politics. Yeah, there's that. So, I stumbled onto a show on Netflix called TheDesignated Survivor. And not only did the show fill the gap left by House of Cards, it completely made me forget about House of Cards. Now, not that House of Cards wasn't good, but this is just a really good show, and it kind of stood on its own. It stars Kiefer Sutherland as a designated survivor. What is a designated survivor? It's okay if you don't know, I didn't know either. They even have to explain to Kiefer Sutherland while he was on the show filming it. Basically, they put someone in a well-guarded room while the president and everybody and their mother in Washington is in a meeting all at the same time. Now, if for some reason the president dies, the VP dies, and 30 other poor bastards died that are below the president, then the guy in the guarded room becomes the designated survivor, which the designated survivor becomes the president. If all them people die at the same time, he becomes a dude. You guys got that? Good. Now, don't pause the video to Google designated survivor to see if it's a real thing. It is a real thing. How do I know? It's because I'm smart.
You got a gift, my friend.
Nah, I Googled that shit. But I'm not really into political shows that much, but this one did grab my attention. There's a lot of action, betrayal, and there's a surprise in almost every single episode. It's similar to like Game of Thrones, where you really think you know the people, but you don't. And then when they stab you in the back, you be like, damn!
Boy, that escalated quickly.
It really did. Yeah. The show itself will keep you on your toes and keep you guessing who's going to backstab the president in this episode. Every episode is left in a cliffhanger, so you'll be asking yourself, can I use my sick days so I can finish watching this shit? Yes, you can. It is awesome. But make sure you got like a week of sick days, because some shit happens and then some other shit happens, and you find yourself making Café Bustelo at 3 in the morning in order to see what happens. My review, it's great. Definitely a good flick to binge. It was worth me getting suspended for a week from my job. If I had a job. Next is another Netflix flick. That sounded weird. For my next review, I sat down and watched this show called Lucifer. And I'm trying to figure out how they pitched this show to Netflix, because it sounded like a show that they would pitch in the 80s. But the pitch probably went something like this. It's about a horny devil that comes from hell to live in LA and solve crimes with a cop who's a single mom. And we are going to make sure, for no reason whatsoever, we will explain why the devil coming from hell has a British accent. Did I pitch it good? So, I watched all 4 seasons, and the episodes range from 13 up to 26 episodes. And I needed it because watching this show was like crack, and I do anything for more Lucifer. Man, I'll suck your dick. Nope, I'm not doing that. So the show is like Law and Order meets Austin Powers.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
So whether you like comedy, drama, supernatural, love stories, or conflicts, this show is like a big ass salad of all that stuff. The acting is on point, and the chemistry between the actors is off the hook. The show really finds its footing early on and doesn't take much for you to fall in love with these characters and start cheering for them. So it's definitely a show you will want to binge and you will become a Lucy fan. After watching the 4th season and the last episode that had a climactic entry, this thing had me like... But don't worry, season 5 is coming and hopefully it will be awesome. Guys, I saved the best for last. It's the movie, The Joker. No, not this Joker. This Joker. And to make sure you understand what I'm talking about, the Joker played by Joaquin Phoenix. Not the one played by Mark Anthony. Now, if you've been hiding in the Batcave for the last year, you probably haven't heard of the Joker. But if you haven't seen it, or you have seen it and you think, Carlos, I don't really need to see this review, I've seen this movie already. Bear with me, this video is only a couple of minutes. Pornhub or that person you're arguing with on Facebook about politics will still be here when I'm done. Now, the Joker movie is one of those movies you will either like it or you won't. There's really no in between. First off, things you need to understand about the Joker movie. It is not a superhero movie. It's not a villain movie. If you understand mental health, you'll get what they're getting at. The laugh in the Joker is one of the things you expect. You saw it in the cartoon version of it. You saw it in the Jack Nicholson and the Heath Ledger when he played the Joker. But the way they threw it in here is more like a defense mechanism or sort of like a nervous trick. It is absolutely brilliant. So with this movie Joker, it's more like he would be if he was a real person. And this would explain the psyche of the Joker and give us a better understanding of this character. So my review for this movie, this is just, it stands on its own. It will be a cult classic. It's an amazing movie. The acting done by Joaquin Phoenix is definitely a top-notch performance. I must admit, when I heard he was doing the Joker, I was still thinking, damn, it's kind of hard to do the Joker after Heath Ledger, but he did a bang-up job. Again, it's not a superhero movie, and it's not a villain movie, but it stands on its own, sort of like a biography of the Joker. But go watch it and show Joaquin Phoenix some love. He did a bang-up job as the Joker. I just have one thing for you guys to do. Whatever you do, do not take your kids to watch this movie. It's a bit disturbing. But if you don't heed my warning, your kids will grow up and wind up like this.
Bring the car around. We're going for a drive.
Yeah, this is Carlos Morales, and your movies have just been reviewed.